What is up, y'all? What it do? How y'all doing? It's time to get some New Year's messages on the table for y'all here today, okay? All right. I'm not even fully prepared, dude. I ain't got all the good vibes in the air yet. And I don't have any special announcements to make. So, for those of you in need of a personal reading, you can find all the information you need about how to go about scheduling one down in the description of this video. Happy birthday to my Capricorns. And that's about it. All right, y'all, let's jump into this. Let's see what New Year's messages we have for Aries. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to break out some old school shit here. So before we step into a new year, I'm going to rewind it back 5 years, and I'm going to do some old school reading techniques here. I'm going to read this the way I used to back when I first started. Y'all won't fucking notice a difference, but for those of you who have followed me for a long time, fellow tarot readers, you remember how I used to read when I first started? All right, Aries, let's see. What messages do we have for Aries? Let's get 3 shuffles. 1, 2, and 3. Ooh, the King of Swords reversed. Okay. Okay, so whatever situation you're dealing with right here, I'm thinking that the person that you're dealing with is wanting you to kind of think that they're moving on from this, but they haven't. Oh, they absolutely have not. Actually, to the contrary, this person is keeping a very close eye on you. Very, very close. Very close. But see, here's the thing. I don't know what this person is trying to gain by acting like this, but I don't think it's working on you. It may be for some of you. There may be a couple of you who have played this game with this person before, but I think the majority of you, this person just does not really know who they're messing with exactly. I personally haven't really met an Aries that's going to run and chase after somebody walks away. Maybe in the beginning you might chase after them, but once one of you decides to walk away, I haven't really met an Aries that's going to sit and run and chase. And I'm thinking that's kind of what they're hoping that you're going to do. In a way, they're watching you. They're keeping a very close eye on you. And I think deep down you want to. I think deep down you want to, but you're not. You're holding back and resisting temptation. Because your logical mind is telling you that it's a complete and total waste of time. And this time you're letting your logical mind win. Some of you dealing with a Leo, possibly. You're just completely ignoring this person's attempts to try to get your attention, aren't you? You're ignoring it. Could have been a third party in the mix for some of you. But yeah, that's about all I can get out of this spread here. Pretty simple message. Let's get the advice. What's the advice for Aries? Ooh, man. Look, when it all comes down to it, I know we've already talked about this, so let me see if I can hit this from a different angle. When you're dealing with somebody who is not mature enough to play the role you need them to play, or to even understand the point you're trying to make, don't even waste your energy. Because when you're dealing with somebody that's that immature, here's the double-edged sword about that situation. When you're dealing with somebody that immature, if you try to reason with them and try to bargain with them and try to get them to understand something that they're incapable of understanding, you're going to drive yourself crazy. But if you bottle it all up it's going to drive you crazy from the inside. You see what I'm saying? So what do you do with a situation like that? Sometimes you just have to accept that that a person may not be mature enough to play the role you need them to play in your life, or to even understand where you're coming from. And I know, I get it, dude. There is nothing more frustrating than dealing with somebody that you really want to explain something to them, but you know they're too stupid to understand what you're even going to say. So you just bottle it up and deal with it. You don't even waste your time. And that can be equally as bad. But I think you're on the right path. Don't acknowledge this person's attempts to try to get your attention. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're headed towards a pretty positive outcome. There's some rewards waiting for you on the horizon, but you have to release the energy that's weighing you down and holding you back from ascending to the vibration that will attract those rewards. All right, Taurus. What messages do we have for Taurus? Ooh, the Tower card. Somebody could be wanting to reconcile here. Let's get 3 shuffles. Here's 1, 2, and 3. Ooh, Queen of Swords reversed. Ooh, and you got the 5 of Wands over here on your side. This looks like you about done with this person's bullshit. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yup. And honestly, I think that the idea that you're just completely done with this bullshit kind of scares the hell out of this person, to be honest with you. I think so. This person doesn't want to be alone. Now, they may look very independent. You know, you may not be able to guess that by looking at them. The average person observing this person from the outside looking in may assume that this person is very independent and has it all together and whatnot. But honestly, they are terrified of being alone. Could be a Virgo for some of you. I'm thinking, honestly, they want to reconcile, but I don't think they have the nerve to attempt reconciliation. I don't think so. And I think on a deep level, you wish reconciliation was possible, but you're just done with their bullshit. Done with it. Dun 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 dun. And I don't blame you. Especially if you've been on and off with this person. There's nothing more frustrating than giving somebody 1 chance, 2 chances, 3 chances. And 9 times out of 10, all they're going to do is just take advantage of that. I've done it too, y'all. I've done it. Trust me, dude. I've done it too. You know, you see what potential somebody has, and you want to keep giving them the chance to bring that potential forward. So you give them 1 chance. You give them 2 chances. You give them 3 chances. And basically in their mind, they're just like, you'll come back every time. I ain't going to have to worry about losing you for long. You always come back. And they just take advantage of it and just treat you however they want. And that is so fucking frustrating. But, yeah. Again, could have been a third party in the mix here for some of you. But I think this person is a lot more heartbroken than they're letting on. And this fucks with them a lot more than they're letting on too. They're not nearly as happy as it appears that they are. What's the advice? Do we have any advice for Taurus? Let the tower burn. But at the same time, not only do you want to let the tower burn, but I don't want to keep using metaphors. Try not to assign the past a negative meaning. This is the key to carving out a positive energetic pathway. Now, it's not something you're going to be able to do overnight. I get it. But remember, making peace with the past and taking the knowledge, the lessons, and the wisdom from the past and actually integrating it into your path moving forward. See, we don't want to just sit around and talk about the lessons that we've learned. That's what everybody likes to do. Oh, I learned my lesson on that. Oh, yeah? Explain that. Show me something in your life that proves that you learned your lesson. Show me. How is your life different now as a result of the lesson that you learned? A lot of people don't do that. They talk about the lesson that they learned, but at the end of the day, all they really do is bash and talk shit about somebody when they say they learned a lesson. You didn't learn a lesson until you look back on something that happened and you're glad it happened. That's when you've learned the lesson. You learn the lesson when you're able to look back on something in the past and explain exactly why it was meant to happen the way that it happened. That's when you learned your lesson. Once you understand the deeper meaning behind why it happened. So, again, not something you can do overnight. Every now and then, and when I give that whole teaching, it takes like 20 or 30 minutes for me to break it down and explain it. But every now and then I'll break that down and explain that to a client, the whole process from start to finish, and the science, the quantum physics, and everything. And then they'll come back to me 3 months later and say, well, I tried assigning in a meeting and it didn't work. No. You're not going to do this in a couple of days, a couple of weeks, or even a couple of months. This can take a couple of years. Oh, yes, it can. It can take a couple of years to fully transmute and release something and assign a situation or an experience a whole fucking meaning. That can take 2 or 3 years sometimes, even longer maybe. The longest it's ever taken me is about 3.5 years. But it's a journey, y'all. It is a journey. All right, Gemini. Gemini. What are the messages for Gemini? Universe. King of Swords reversed. Somebody playing games with you. Let me get 3 shuffles here. 1, 2, and 3. Boom. Ooh, Justice reversed. Yeah. Okay, this is kind of a specific message. Some of you, somebody played some serious fucking games with you and fucked you over and did you dirty. And you're waiting for karmic justice to be served. I got news for you. That's not how karma works. No, it is not. I don't have time to unpack all that here in this video. But first of all, karma does not mean what goes around comes around. I don't know why the fuck everybody uses that word to describe that universal law. The universal law of what goes around comes around does not mean that there's this little invisible superhero named Captain Karma who flies around kicking people's asses who do people wrong. That's not the way it works. The universal law of what goes around comes around means the vibrations that you cast are handed back to you. That's all it means. There is no judgment, there are no punishments, and there are no rewards. It is a default setting in this fucking computer game that we live in. So, having said that, I'm not downplaying what happened to you. I'm not saying that you weren't done wrong. I'm not saying that you weren't seriously fucked over. But I am saying that you could seriously carve out a negative energetic pathway sitting around focusing on that. Okay? Anyway, I'm thinking that this person wants to talk to you. And they're probably going to attempt to talk to you. And I don't think they have anything nice to say. I don't. Oh, no, I don't. See, they've been giving you the silent treatment, thinking that that would get a rise out of you. And since it hasn't, I think you're probably fixing to hear from this person pretty soon. But I don't think they have any plans of coming into your life and fixing things and trying to you know, smooth the path and lay a new foundation. I don't think so. Almost kind of feels to me like all they really want to do is bring drama into your life. That's what it feels like. But at the end of the day, here's the thing. Here's the thing you have to understand. And I understand. I get it. This is hard to accept. People like that are like that for a reason. And the reason is because they are fucked up deep down inside. Fucked up. You know the old saying, hurt people hurt people. Dude, it's true. I know it sounds corny. I know it sounds cliche, but it's fucking true. Happy people do not go around spreading rumors, gossiping, starting drama, starting shit in people's lives. You ever met a happy person? They're kind of hard to come by, but they're out there. If you ever meet a truly happy person, they don't go around getting in everybody else's business. They're not going around gossiping about people. They're not going around spreading fucking rumors. They're not going around trying to start drama in other people's lives. Even if you're on some bullshit, especially if you on some bullshit. A happy person isn't going to try to come bring drama into your life just because you on some bullshit. If you on some bullshit, a truly happy person is going to stay the fuck away from you. Like, for real. So I'm not saying that it excuses anything that this person's done or anything that they choose to do in the future. But sometimes it can make these situations a little bit easier to navigate when you understand that, damn, the reason why you acting like that is because you got some serious, deep-seated fucking issues. You're a fucked up individual. I wish you healing. It's hard. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's easy, okay? So don't kick yourself if you struggle with it. But try to see if you can see things from that end of the spectrum. Some of you dealing with a Leo, possibly. I also have Libra here. Y'all are still karmically tied. This is absolutely a karmic tie. Absolutely. Let's see what the advice is. What's the advice for Gemini? The advice. Eight of Pentacles reverse. 3 shuffles. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Don't sit around driving yourself nuts trying to overthink this person and give them more credit than they deserve. You already know everything there is to know about this person in this situation. I get it. I've done that before too. I've found myself overthinking somebody's motives and intentions to breaking them down to a science. And basically in my mind, what I did was I created a version of them in my mind that's way more fucking intelligent than that person actually was. When really in actuality, people that fucked up, they're not that deep. They're not that smart, okay? They don't know why they're doing what they're doing. They're not aware of the fact that they're fucked up deep down inside, okay? I'm not trying to sound like an asshole, but they're fucking idiots. They're idiots. They're stupid. They don't know what they're doing or why they're doing it. They're just running on traumatic programming. They're not aware of it. You know, especially those of you, I know there's a couple of you out there dealing with a genuine, true blue, certified fucking narcissist. Especially. You know what? I know a lot of people need to hear this. There's close to 500 of you watching right now. Probably about 20 or 30,000 of you going to watch this. Somebody needs to hear this, okay? Modern research into the narcissistic personality disorder has shown that a genuine true blue narcissist actually has a brain disorder. They have a brain disorder, okay? It goes much further than them just having a big ego, or being manipulative, or lacking empathy, or all these little staples that people like to slap on people and call them a narcissist, just because they have one of these little traits. A true narcissist has a brain disorder. Now, I'm no neuroscientist, so I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but from what I remember, it has something to do with the relationship between the parts of the brain that process logic and the parts of the brain that process emotion. Those two parts of the brain have to be able to communicate back and forth to each other. And something at some point in the narcissist's upbringing that was stunted somehow. Maybe through abuse, emotional neglect. We could speculate all day long, but something happened in the developmental stages of the narcissist's brain development. And the connections between the logical and the emotional lobes of the brain didn't develop properly. So they don't have the capability to understand what they're doing. That doesn't excuse it. I'm not saying that makes it okay. That means stay the fuck away from them. You're never going to get them to understand it. They don't have the brain capacity to understand it. Telling you. Run. Run. Don't try to explain. Don't try to defend yourself. Don't waste your time pouring your heart and soul out. They're not going to understand it. They don't have the brain to understand it. Don't waste your time. Run, block, and don't communicate. Period. Okay. Oh, that needs a sage now. That needs a sage in after that one. I don't know who needed to hear that, but I pulled your energy into my home studio here. So let me clear the air real quick. All right. Okie dokie. Cancer. 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 What messages do we have for the Cancerian collective for New Year's Universe 2025? Uh-oh. That's you right there. Hang on. 3 shuffles. Here's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so you're definitely dealing with somebody you are karmically tied to. But here's the thing, you are having a battle between your mind and your intuition when it comes to this person or this situation. Having a really hard time moving on from this, having a really hard time walking away from this. And you can't tell if your intuition is telling you something or if your mind is making shit up. I can tell you right now that with the High Priestess reversed and the 9 of Swords, that's not your intuition. That's your ego. That's your ego driving you nuts. Okay? Now, the person that you're dealing with is having a difficult time transitioning on from this too. I can't really tell what's going on here. 6 of Swords, Death reversed. What is that? It's kind of like 9 of Swords, 8 of Cups reversed. So y'all are kind of mirroring each other as far as this goes. Neither of you are having a very easy time moving on from this, but I do think that there's going to be closure. Well, there's going to be communication. And it's going to basically end up resulting in closure. But I think you're walking away from this with more questions than answers. So it doesn't look like closure is happening here. You don't know if you're making the right decision. You don't know what the hell to do, man. Because it seems like at this point in the game with this person, every decision that you make is wrong. Like, what's the right decision? Should I stay? Should I go? Should I be patient? Should I try to work this out? Should I forgive them? Should I cut them out of my life? Should I? No matter what decision I choose to make, I feel like it's the wrong choice. So, yeah. This kind of seems like you might be driving yourself just a little bit nuts. Just a little bit. Again, I get it. Oh, wow. Well, this is just a cliffhanger here. Two of Swords. This is a cliffhanger. We're just kind of hanging on the edge of our seat here. This isn't coming to a point. Some of you dealing with a Scorpio, could be a fellow Cancer, but I feel like High Priestess Chariot reversed. After all this shit we just talked about, that's your energy right there. Oh, man. Okay, let's get the advice. What's the advice for Cancer? Well, you're dealing with a double-edged sword. So, when you're dealing with a double-edged sword, you just got to pick an edge. You got to pick an edge, man. You got to pick one. Which one is going to hurt the most? That's the thing. So, when it comes to a situation like this, you have two paths in front of you, and they both suck. You have the path of change and the path of staying the same. They both suck. They both suck. Which one sucks worse? That's the question. Now, unlike what I normally do, I'm not going to tell you which path you should take. Because at the end of the day, your higher self is going to put you on the path that's going to serve your highest good in the long run, even if you have to repeat this cycle 20 more times. But I'll leave you with this. The path of change is temporary. The pain of change is temporary. The pain of staying the same is permanent. So would you rather go through the temporary fear, hurt, sadness, and discomfort of changing something, of cutting somebody out of your life that doesn't need to be there, of making a change that needs to be made? That's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to suck. It's going to hurt. It's going to be painful for a little bit. Maybe a year at the longest. Or do you want to keep looping around and looping around and looping around and repeating the same cycle? That's going to be painful too. For a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. I know personally, well, more than one, but one specific couple that's been on and off for about 15 years. On and off. On and off and on and off. They even got married. They got married. And then they even got divorced. They got divorced. Now, before they got married, they had already been on and off. I don't know how many times. 5, 6, 10 times. Then they got married. And then they got divorced. And then they got back together again. And you just kind of sit back and watch that like, wow, holy fuck, dude. Wow. And then the last I saw, they're broken up again. Very recently. So, which path is more painful? The path of on and off and on and off and on and off, of getting stabbed in the same spot over and over and over for the rest of your life, or yanking the knife out and letting the wound heal. That's going to hurt, but eventually it'll heal. Just take that information and do with it what you will. All right, Leo. Let's do a deck swap. Deck swap, deck swap. I'm keeping it Rider Waite, though. I'm keeping it Rider Waite for the New Year's messages. I don't want to mess with anything other than the Rider Waites. All right, Leo. Leo. What messages do we have for the Leo family? Boom, boom, boom. What are the messages for Leo? You know what that is, right? Hang on, let me get the rest of the spread out. Hold up. Don't want to speak on it too soon. Ah, 4 of Wands. Okay. Ooh, hang on. Okay, all right. So I'm thinking that the person that you're dealing with is waiting on the right opportunity to come forward. Because whatever happened between the two of you is weighing on them very heavily. Very heavily. Very heavily. But they're about to crack under pressure. They're getting this close. I would say they're getting this close, but not quite. Not quite. Because they're still not quite coming forward and taking action. Now, you, on the other hand, are actually healing from this. Some of you may not even realize how much healing you're doing. Some of you may, because it's the 9 of Swords reversed. Usually 10 of Swords reversed is when you're healing and don't realize it. By the time you get to 9 of Swords reversed, you're no longer losing sleep at night. So you're starting to become aware that you're healing. So you, on the other hand, are actually healing from this. I think it's actually getting to a point. Some of you, maybe this is long since past, but you're actually getting to a point where you have no interest in extending or accepting a love offer from this person. No interest at all. Some of you dealt with a Virgo. I also have Taurus, Aquarius, and Libra. Okay. By the way, I don't know who needs to hear this, but for those of you wondering whether or not this person regrets what they did, they don't even believe they did anything wrong. Thank you, Catherine Mullins, for the super chat. Appreciate you. Thank you. For those of you wondering whether or not this person sees the error of their ways, they don't even believe they did anything wrong. I don't know who needs to hear that. Honestly, too, you may be healing from this, but you're still very jaded. You're kind of getting to a point where you're just kind of starting to lose hope on love in general. What advice do we have for Leo? What advice do we have? Ooh, Temperance. Return to balance before you even think about a new relationship. Return to balance. I just did a reading for somebody a day or two ago who told me that obviously a relationship that they attempted failed, but they told me that when they entered into this relationship, they had major trust issues. And then they asked me, what am I doing wrong? You're not healing before you get into a relationship. You're not healing. I'm not saying that you have to be glowing, floating on a cloud, and farting rainbows before you get into a relationship. But God damn it, you shouldn't have trust issues. If you have trust issues, I know it's going to piss some people off. Sorry. That's not my intention, but that's not going to prevent me from telling you the truth. If you have trust issues, you don't need to be messing with nobody. Nobody. If you have trust issues. I get it. I'm not saying that you haven't been through some horrible things. I'm not saying that you haven't connected with some terrible fucking people. I'm not saying that your abuse is, anything less than what it is. But it's your responsibility to heal that. It's just a fact, dude. I don't like it either. I don't like the rules of this game, but that doesn't change the rules. So, return to balance. Okay? If you still have such a negative outlook on love, that's fine. That's fine. Take a break. Take a break and dedicate 2025 to finding yourself, to finding happiness, to finding abundance in here. It's tricky, Oh, it's tricky, but at least set off down that pathway. Again, I'm not saying you have to be floating on a cloud, but as long as you set off onto that pathway and you start making some progress, you're not going to have to wait until you reach the top of the mountain. But once you start making some progress, you'll start noticing the changes in regards to the people that you attract into your life. But you got to set on that path first. The primary law is the law of vibration. Primary. You can't enter into a relationship on a fucked up vibration, because the primary law is the law of vibration. So if you enter into a relationship on a fucked up vibration, that energy is going to manifest between the two of you. All right. Virgo. What are the messages for the Virgo family? Uh-oh, Eight of Swords. Whoa, Magician. Three of Swords. Are you still waiting to hear from somebody? I'm thinking you have a lot of options available to you that you're either not aware of or you're not interested in. One of the two. For some of you, it could be a little bit of both. But this is telling me you got so many fucking options available to you. So many. And I can't tell what this means. Does this mean that you're not seeing them? Or does this mean you're not interested so you don't want to see them? You tell me. You tell me. For some of you, honestly, it kind of feels like you're not even really wanting to open yourself up to anybody. But honestly, whoever this person is that you dealt with, they're waiting for, I think they're spying on your love life. And they're trying to figure out a way to sabotage your love life. Now, don't be alarmed, because I don't, either one or two things. Either A, they ain't gonna do shit, or B, if they attempt to do some shit, it'll fail. They ain't gonna be able to sabotage you. No, they won't. No, they won't. But I think for the majority of you, this person, they ain't doing shit. They'll sit around and think about all the things they'd like to do and how bad they would love to see you fail and this, that, and everything else. But they ain't going to do shit. Some of you dealt with a Cancer, possibly. Okay. That's all I'm getting here. Yeah, see, this person's too damn chicken shit. They ain't going to do nothing. They ain't going to do nothing. Honestly, though, for those of you waiting to hear from this person, I don't think it looks like they're trying to come forward unless they see the right opportunity, and it doesn't look like they're seeing the right opportunity. But even if they did, because maybe one or two of you might end up hearing from this person, proceed with caution. Because they're not coming forward trying to smooth things out with you. No, they're not. If anything, they're just trying to be nosy and spy on what you got going on, and probably try to bring some drama into your life. What advice do we have for Virgo? Ace of Swords reversed. I wouldn't even talk to him. Wouldn't even talk to him. Even if they did try to come forward, I wouldn't talk to him. Or if you do, let me try to meet you in the middle somewhere. Make sure boundaries are set. You know, like say your phone was to ding right now and it's them in your inbox. I would wait a good 3 or 4 hours to respond and give them a little one-word response. You know, like especially if they type you out a paragraph. They type you out a big old long paragraph. Wait like 4 or 5 hours and then respond with, okay. And then they text you back. Reply tomorrow with, okay. Just make sure boundaries are set, and be careful with this too, especially now, for those of you dealing with a dangerous person, don't do that. Don't do that. Ignore them altogether. Because if you're dealing with somebody dangerous enough, that right there will piss off a toxic person. That will piss off a toxic person. So 1 or 2 of you may be dealing with somebody that's toxic and dangerous. Okay? Lots of toxic people out there. Some of them are downright fucking dangerous. So just use your better judgment and discernment. But if you do choose to talk to this person, make sure boundaries are set. Make sure that they know that no matter what they do, they're not going to pierce the wall of your boundaries. Make sure they know that. Other than that, though, yeah, I wouldn't even talk to him if I was you. And that's a pretty straightforward, direct fucking answer. I don't care what pity party they try to throw, I don't care if they come to you with a message that's fucking 3 paragraphs long about all the horrible things that's happened to them and how they're going to end up on the streets and their dog got ran over by a car and they're about to go homeless in the winter and they're probably going to freeze to death and boo-hoo, 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 boo-hoo. Okay. You ain't playing with my fucking emotions. No, you ain't. You ain't gonna guilt trip me. No, you ain't. Fuck you. But again, if this person's dangerous, don't do that. Because a toxic enough person will fucking retaliate. So, just throwing that out there. Okay. Libra. 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 What are the messages for the Libra family? King of Wands reverse. Why does this energy have to keep coming out, dude? This is about to start draining the shit out of me, man. Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm thinking communication's going to happen here. Yup. Oh, okay. Good. Never mind. Okay. This is good. So, well, there's good news and bad news. The bad news is this person's playing fucking games with you. Playing mind games with you. Gaslighting you. Bullshitting you. Same old shit they always did. The good news is you ain't fucking stupid. That's the good news. That's the good news. I think you're just going to end up blocking this person. Oh, dude, I didn't even see this one. We got 3 kings reversed. 3 kings. 1 king, 2 king, 3 kings. All reversed. The kings reversed are the most manipulative, game-playing ass, gaslighting ass, lying ass, cheating ass, fucking fuckers in the whole tarot. The king's reversed. And we got 3. So, again, the good news is you ain't stupid. That's the good news. It only works if you're gullible or naive. This shit right here only works if you're naive and gullible. If you ain't naive, if you ain't gullible, if you ain't stupid, that shit ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. I feel like as soon as you see that they still playing the same old goddamn games, you go and Aaron block a bitch on they punk ass. Yup. Okay. That's good. Okay. Well, I don't really have much else to say about this. Yup. Standing up for yourself, standing in your emotional independence and emotional integrity. Knight of Swords, 8 of Wands reverse. Block. Block. Block, blah, blah, block, blah, blah, block, 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 blah, blah, block, blah, blah, block, block, block. Sweet. That's what you got to do, man. Any advice? That don't sound like it needs advice, but we'll see. Whoa. Okay, this deck's getting mad at me. Oh. Okay, I'll put you aside. How about this one? Any advice? That don't sound like it needs advice, but we'll see. Healing. Focus on your healing. That's your number one priority. And regaining your strength. I mean, at the end of the day, dude, you have to pick and choose your battles wisely. There are some things that are worth fighting for. And there are some things that aren't going to do anything but fuck you up in the long run. Thank you, SoCal Air, for the super chat. Appreciate you. Thank you. And you have to ask yourself, what's worth it? What's worth it? Especially somebody that knows you. Somebody you've already dealt with before. You know, if I know you and you know me, we've been close. We've dealt with each other before. I'm not explaining shit to you. I don't have to. You know what the fuck you're doing. Either A, you know what you're doing, or B, you're stupid. One of the two. Which one is it? I don't care which one it is. No matter which one it is, it's not worth my energy. I'm not going to waste my energy explaining something to you that you already fucking know. And I'm not going to waste my energy trying to explain something to you that you're too stupid to understand. I'm not going to waste my energy on either one of them. So if you playing games with me and you know me, you fucking know me, block. Keeping you at an arm's distance. Stay away from me. Nope. Fuck you. Very simple. Very, very simple. So I don't really think this needs a whole lot of advice. I think you're handling this exactly the way you need to. Just be very mindful. Now, the only exception that I could think of to a situation like this is if you're in some kind of situation where you have to deal with this person. Like, for example, you have kids together, or you're going through separation and you still have to be around this person to grab some of your belongings or something like that. You know, where you have to deal with them. Minimize the drama as much as possible. Keep them at an arm's distance. Very short yes and no answers. Avoid them at all costs. Stay away from that. That energy ain't gonna do nothing but pull you down. That's it. That's all it's gonna do. All it's gonna do. So sometimes you're in situations where you're forced to deal with the person, and I get that, but you just have to use your better judgment and mitigate that energy as best as you possibly can. So, okay. Who was that? Libra? Scorpio. Scorpio. Actually, let's see if this deck wants to cooperate now. Scorpio. What are the messages for the Scorpio collective? Messages for Scorpio. Ooh, the star card. Some of you dealing with an Aquarius, possibly. Two more shuffles, two more. Somebody's breaking the silence. Somebody breaking the silence. Okay, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, so... this is kind of a back and forth roller coaster of energies and emotions here. Because at first, whenever the silence is broken, you're feeling like maybe your wish has come true. But then at the same time, you're wondering if you might be wasting your time. You're not really sure what to do with the situation. I think this person, honestly, I don't think this is random, okay? I think this person's been waiting very, very, very carefully, planning when they're going to reach out to you. This is not random. So don't think this person just woke up one day and said, oh yeah, Scorpio, I haven't thought about them in fucking forever. You know what? I think I want to reach out to them and see what's going on. No. They've been planning this very strategically, meticulously, and methodically for a minute now. But the question is, what are they planning? Because it don't look to me like they trying to like get with you and build a life with you. It don't look like they trying to live happily ever after with you. So what the fuck do they want? It don't even say. It ain't even saying. And for those of you who weren't watching at the beginning of the video, I'm using my old school style of reading here. That when I very first started reading tarot on YouTube, this is how I did my all signs readings. And I didn't pull a spread for feelings, energies, and intentions. Okay, so what I have here is I have an overall energy. Here's your energy, here's their energy, and here's the underlying energy. And I just read it all in one big spread. So if their energies and their intentions aren't coming through here anywhere, I don't dig any deeper than that. So it should all come out in this one spread, all of it. And this isn't really, the only thing that my intuition kind of tells me here is that I don't even think this person knows exactly what it is that they want. They don't even know. They just haven't been able to cut energetic ties with you. So basically them reaching out to you is just kind of like scratching an itch, you know? They just want to know what's going on with you. They want to know how you feel. They want to know how you feel about them, what your opinion is, what you've had going on in your life. Just kind of feels to me like they want to be nosy. But then here's the question. Then what? What comes after that? They haven't thought that through. They haven't thought that through. So like say, for example, they reach out to you and you've been missing them. You want them. You want to build a life with them and you're willing to reconcile. Well, then what? They're not planning that far ahead. They're just scratching an itch. They're just nosy, wanting to know what the hell you got going on. That's it. Some of you dealt with a Gemini. I have Gemini, Aquarius, Cancer, and Sagittarius here. Oh, we got Taurus hiding in there. And Virgo. Okay. I'm thinking, honestly, you're going back and you can't decide whether or not you feel a really strong connection with this person or you're just losing interest. You're kind of going back and forth here. I think there's probably a part of you that still feels really connected to them and a part of you that wants nothing to do with them. All right, any advice? Any advice? What advice do we have for Scorpio? Ooh, the Queen of Pentacles, man. Hang on. Ooh, the Lover's card in the upright. Oh, and the Ace of Cups reversed. Okay. Well, I tell you what. The two of you could potentially build something pretty successful. But here's what you do. You make sure this person respects your boundaries and your decisions. Now, don't get this twisted because I know you're a fixed sign. Fixed signs are all about making up their mind and doing things their way and setting their boundaries. And this is the way I do it. And, you know, I know how I'm a fixed sign. I get it. But this isn't about that. This isn't about you doing things your way. This isn't about being stubborn and fixed-minded. This is about whether or not this person respects you. That's what this is about. Okay? So don't set, and this is another thing fixed signs are horrible about, and I'm working on this too. Every fixed sign that I know, myself included, has a tendency to set really stupid, ridiculous, outlandish boundaries, right? Just to be fucking stubborn. Just because I said so, okay? Don't do that shit, okay? If you want to set a boundary, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? But don't make it anything stupid and outlandish just because you said so. Set a boundary that is a normal, common sense, common human decency boundary and see if they respect it. Okay? See if they respect it. For example, let's say you're going to bring this person back into your life and you tell them, no, I'm not sleeping with you until I'm 100% sure that I know exactly where this connection is going. You know, while we're still just kind of like talking, and things are just still kind of lingering in the limbo, and there's still a big, I'm not sleeping with you if I'm not sure about where this is going. That's fucking normal, common human decency, common sense, right? Nothing wrong with that. That's not too much to ask. Well, see if they respect that. See if they respect it. If they start pushing and poking and pushing and poking and pushing and poking and testing and sending you mixed signals and starting to get manipulative and then start playing with your feelings and trying to guilt trip you and doing everything that they can to bend and twist and test the layers of them boundaries, this person don't respect you. They don't respect you. And that tells you everything you need to know about them. Everything. Okay? Take that information and do with it what you will. All right. Sagittarius. Sagittarius. What are the messages for the Sagittarius collective universe? What are the messages for the Sagittarius collective? Knight of Cups reversed. Hang on. Two more shuffles, two more. Two of Wands. Knight of Pentacles reversed. Woo! Whoever this is you're dealing with, they keeping a very close eye on you. Very close eye on you. Okay. Don't think for a fucking minute. Man, look at this. Hold up. We got the Judgment reversed and the Eight of Cups reversed and the Ten of Wands. This is weighing on them very heavily. Very heavily. Very, very heavily. They have some serious unanswered questions. They feel a feeling of unfinished business that's weighing on them so fucking heavily it's eating them alive. But they don't want you to know that. Oh, I'm sure if you go look at their Instagram or their Facebook or their TikTok or whatever the fuck they be doing, oh, it just looks like they having a good old goddamn time. That's a load of bullshit. A load of bullshit. But at the same time, you're not really coming forward and taking action either. Don't let this person fool you. This, honestly, what I'm really kind of getting out of this whole spread right here is that some of you may be successfully deceived by this person's little game that they're playing, this little show they're putting on for you. Some of you may be. Some of you may be on the fence. No, this person's doing everything that they can to try to hold back. And basically, they're hoping that you feel the same way they feel. Because if you feel the same way they feel, you're about to crack under pressure and come forward. And they're hoping that you do it first. It's not, I don't even have a clue what this person's feelings and intentions are. It's not telling me anything about that. Not telling me anything about that. But, well, we got Magician reversed, Ace of Swords, though. Okay, never mind. There we go. There we go. That's some shitty energy right there. They're trying to manipulate you. They're trying to manipulate you through silence. So what does that mean? When you're trying to manipulate somebody through silence? That means you're trying to manipulate somebody energetically. So if you're trying to use nothing but energy for negative, selfish reasons, what is that? Whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, that's black magic. It doesn't matter if you're sitting on a fucking pentagram with a bunch of candles lit and a goddamn rat's tail and a goat's tooth and a candle lit. No. If you're intentionally trying to manipulate somebody through silence without saying a word, using nothing but energy, that's black magic. So, it doesn't look like their feelings and their intentions are positive. Let's put it that way. Doesn't look like it. But, I mean, they do still feel really strong, unfinished business. Really strong. Could be a Taurus for some of you. I also have Virgo. Could be anybody. Y'all know that. Well, let's get some advice here. What's the advice? Damn it, what deck do I want to use? I'm doing all rider weight for this video. What's the advice for Sagittarius? Ooh, hang on. 2 more shuffles. 1 and 2. Okay, I know that I've covered this a lot over the past couple of months. But you seriously do have doors of opportunity that want to open for you that will blow this shit out of the water, dude. I'm telling you. But being energetically tied to this situation is blocking that door from opening. Now, what does that mean? Energetically. What that means is, in order for that door to open, you have to match the frequency of that door. Okay? You're not a vibrational match to what's on the other side of that door yet. That's good news. Why is that good news? Because the primary law is the law of vibration. So if what's on the other side of that door is on a higher vibration, that means that if you match that vibration and that door opens, then you're going to pass through that door, and what's going to manifest is going to be a different experience, a more positive experience. That's the good news. The bad news is that you're still kind of weighed down energetically by this person in this situation. That's normal. It's normal. That doesn't make you stupid. It doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. That happens. It happens. But just know that if you're not able to release this, check this out. Check this out. About a week or so ago, I had a return customer come to me for a reading who came for one back in like October. And they had just separated from this person. And they decided they were moving on and healing from this. And then they came back to me. Actually, it might have been longer ago than that. Yeah, I think it was like back in June. Anyway, they came back to me. They said they just reconnected with this person. And she said, I thought I had been healing until I reconnected with this person. And then it brought me right back to how I felt on day one. Well, that means you weren't healing. That means you weren't healing if that happened. When you're truly, genuinely healing, it's a painful process. See, what most people think healing is just waiting until the pain goes away. That's not healing. If I strap 100 pounds to your back on a backpack, eventually you're going to forget that it's there. Eventually. Might take 6 months or a year. But you're going to totally forget that backpack's there. You're going to adapt to it, and it's just going to become part of you, and you're not going to realize that it's there. Okay? But with a situation like this, if you don't release the energy, the universe is going to have to make sure that that energy gets dug back up to the surface. Because if you just wait until it goes away, it don't go away. Ever. You'll carry it into the next fucking lifetime. It buries itself deep into the pit of your subconscious mind. It don't go nowhere. So the universe is going to be like, all right, we're going to have to dig that shit back up. So the universe is going to make sure you cross paths with this person again. And you're going to see how much healing you ain't fucking done. It's going to dig all that shit back up. It's going to feel like just like it did the day you last talked to this person. It's going to bring you right back to square one again. And that's a good thing, though, because as paradoxical as this sounds, I know this don't sound like it makes sense, but when whatever it was that hurt you is fresh on your mind, that's when you have the best potential to heal it, because you can work with it. It's fresh on your mind. It's still up there. But as it starts to sink into the pit of your subconscious mind, that's when it gets dangerous. That's when it gets real dangerous. Because if it sinks and sinks and sinks to the point to where you've completely forgotten about it, that's dangerous. Because you're going to have to dig that shit back up. And that's hard to do. Once it buries so fucking deep, you can't dig it back up. What do you think repressed childhood memories are? You know, that traumatic thing that happens to some kids when they're like 7 or 8 years old, and then they grow up and they have this serious psychological problem, but they don't remember what caused it. They don't even remember what caused it. How the fuck are they supposed to heal that when they don't even remember what caused it? This is the way it happens. Time does not heal shit. No, it doesn't. Not by itself, it doesn't. Now, time is a very necessary tool in the healing process, but time by itself does not heal you. All time does is buries the wound. If time healed you, there would be no such thing as childhood trauma. Childhood trauma wouldn't even exist if time healed all wounds. So the next time somebody tries to tell you time heals all wounds, fucking slap the shit out of them. No, it don't. That's stupid. All right. Who is that? Sagittarius? All right. Capricorn. Capricorn. Damn it, what fucking deck do I want to use? Okay, how about this one? Capricorn. What are the messages for Capricorn? Whoa. Ooh, strength card reverse. Some of you dealing with a Leo, possibly. Oh, 3 shuffles. Oops. Ooh, King of Wands reversed. Okay, so where am I going to start with this? Okay, so first of all, let's state the obvious. You're dealing with a karmic tie. Okay, a really, really heavy, intense karmic tie. Now, you're doing a really, really, really good job making it look like you've moved on. I don't know if you're doing that on purpose or not. Some of you may be, some of you may not be, but this person sees you and they think that you're just on top of the fucking world. Are you doing that on purpose? I don't know if you are or not. Okay, you just tell yourself that. Don't bother telling me. But that's what this person thinks. But the cards are tattling on you. You ain't doing nearly as good as it looks like you're doing. And that's okay, whatever. Again, the question is, are you doing it on purpose? That's the question. At the end of the day, it's nobody's business what you're going through, but that's a different story. Anyway, this person, I think, has been kind of waiting on you to talk to them. I think y'all have both been waiting on each other, but it's getting to a point where this person is making up their mind and they're no longer waiting on you. They're making up their mind. They're making a solid decision to turn their back on this and walk away from it. You already know what you want to say to this person, don't you? You got it all planned out. Some of you done been rehearsing that shit in your mind, haven't you? I have no clue what the hell this person wants with you. It's not even telling me. Let's see if I can get a couple of cards on that. It ain't telling me. It ain't even telling me. That's probably a good thing with that karmic wheel reverse there. Yeah, it's probably a good thing. Probably a good thing. Basically what this means is it would just loop around and repeat the karmic cycle. Basically. When I think at the end of the day, you all already completed your karmic contract. I think so. So at the end of the day, if you have completed a soul contract, it doesn't matter what they want. It doesn't matter what you want. You got about a 99% chance of a repeat cycle when you complete a soul contract. Is it possible to rewrite a new contract in this lifetime? Yes, it's possible. But let me tell you something. In my career, I've been doing personal readings for the general public since 2019. My wife, who runs the business, she's the one that built and runs the business behind the scenes. She counted the other day. I've done over 4,000 personal readings in my career. When it comes to rewriting a new contract with two people who have already completed a contract, I've seen that happen one time. One time. One time. Out of 4,000. What, you do the math. I suck at math. I don't even know what percentage that is, but it's a fucking tiny little fraction. Tiny. So is it possible? Yeah. But let me give you an example. Is it possible for a 300-pound man to run a marathon? Yeah, it's possible. It's happened. Look at David Goggins. He was 300 pounds, and now that motherfucker runs ultra marathons. This motherfucker will run for days and days without stopping. No sleep for like 3 or 4 days running 250 miles at a time. So it's possible. However, with a situation like this, we got two people. Two people. So it's not just a matter of whether or not you want to train to run a marathon. It's a matter of whether or not they are also willing to train to run the marathon with you. That's what this situation's like. So it would be like 2 300-pound people agreeing to train to run a marathon together. Is it possible? Yes. Yes, it's possible. But what's the likelihood that you're going to get 2 people to cooperate with that? Very, very small chance. However, it's possible. So do you want to take the chance on that? That's the question. Let's see if there's any advice here. What's the advice? What is the advice? What's the advice? All right, last shuffle, last one. World card. All right. Well, the cards are telling me close this cycle out and explore other options. It's time for something new to come in. But I'll revert back to what I just said a second ago. And that's an open-ended question. Do you want to take the chance on that? Now, I'm not alluding to whether you should or you shouldn't. No judgment coming from me. I don't care if you do or not. To be honest with you, I don't give a fuck. Do what you want. But do you want to? With about a 99% chance of a repeat cycle, do you want to take the chance on repeating that cycle with a 1% chance that you all might be able to work it out? And you heard what I said a minute ago. 4,000 to 1. That's less than 1%. So when I say 1%, I'm being fucking generous. All right? Extremely fucking generous. So, do you want to take that chance? With a less than 1% chance of success of rewriting a new cycle or a new contract, I'm sorry. All right. Take that information and do with it what you will. All right, Aquarius, let's see what's up with you. What is up with Aquarius? What is up with my Aquas? Boom, boom. Woohoo! We got that Ace of Swords there, though. Boom, boom. Okay. All right. I'm kind of thinking there's going to be a very brief reconnection between you and somebody. Very brief. Very brief. Some of you dealing with an Aries, possibly. But we got, whoops, the Eight of Cups reversed and the Ace of Swords. Okay. Now, the reason why I say this is a very brief reconnection is because of the Knight of Wands, Five of Wands. Knight of Wands, Five of Wands. This kind of looks to me like you're going to have a conversation with somebody and it ain't going to take no time. I don't even know if it's going to take a full 5 minutes. You'd be lucky if it lasted 5 hours before you get a real quick reminder who this person is. So especially those of you who haven't seen or talked to this person in a while, you know, like maybe it's been a year or two. God damn, with the way time's been flying here for the past few years, maybe for some of you it's been 2 or 3 years since you've talked to this person. Isn't that weird? Do you remember how like 5 or 6 years ago, spending 6 months apart from somebody felt like an eternity? Now, you don't see somebody for 2 or 3 years and it just feels like you talked to them a month or two ago, you know? Anyway, especially those of you who haven't seen or talked to this person in a while, you may have kind of started to forget who they are. You know, sometimes our minds do this thing where once something is so far behind you, you know, maybe a negative experience or a negative relationship or a negative friendship or whatever the case may be, once it's so far behind you that it's a distant fart in the wind that you can't even smell anymore, your mind starts doing this thing where it takes all the negative shit and hides it under the rug. And then it takes all the positive memories and creates this bullshit fucking picture that's completely inaccurate based on nothing but the positive memories. Every now and then our minds do that. And sometimes we can think to ourselves and we're thinking back like, man, you know what? I kind of missed that back then. That was kind of fun. It wasn't that bad. I remember not being very happy at the time, but I don't remember what it felt like or why I wasn't happy. You know, because your mind has, you know, to protect itself, it's buried and repressed the negative memories and painted this positive picture of nothing but all the little positive pieces, you know, and then you go back and revisit it. And then you are violently slapped in the face with those negative memories. Then they all come rushing back. And that's kind of what I'm thinking is going to happen here. How is it happening? I don't know. It honestly kind of feels to me like some of you, this person might finally fucking reach out. They might finally fucking break the goddamn silence. And it ain't gonna take no time, y'all. It ain't gonna take no fucking time. I have no clue what the hell this person wants with you. I do think they have feelings for you. I do think they would like reconciliation, but at the same time, so you have the Tower reversed, which indicates reconciliation, but then you have the Ten of Cups reversed in their energy too. So anyway, let's get the advice here for this situation. What is the best advice? Boom, boom, boom. What's the best advice for Aquarius? Okay, ooh, the Star card. Rise above this shit, dude. That's you, boo-boo. Y'all that don't know nothing about the tarot, that's the Aquarius card right there. The star card. Rise above that shit. Hang on. You already know everything that there is to know about this person in this situation. Okay, how about this? I've already said this like fucking 5 times today, though. Is there a different way to say that? Okay, here's what I would do if I was you. Especially when you're dealing with somebody that you have history with. When they start playing those games, ghost them. Ghost them. Now, this only goes for people that you have a history with. Somebody who knows you. If you're dealing with somebody that don't know you, ghosting is not a very smart thing to do. If you're dealing with somebody that doesn't know you very well, you want to articulate your thoughts. You want to articulate your feelings and your intentions. It's only fair, you know? But if you know me, we've already been around the block. We've already been there, done that, bought the beer koozie and a t-shirt. You already know me. I already know you. I'm not explaining shit to you. I'm not playing that game with you. If you start playing that game with me again, block. I'm not going to give you no explanation. I don't need to. You already know. You already know why I'm blocking you. You know. Either one of two things. Either you know what you're doing and you're fucking with me, or you're fucking stupid. One of the two. Either way, it's not worth my energy. It's not worth my energy. I am not wasting my energy explaining something to you that you already fucking know, that you're just trying to twist. I'm not wasting my energy on that. And I'm not wasting my energy trying to explain something to you that you're too goddamn dumb to comprehend. I'm not wasting my energy on either of those things. So, again, I know I've said this like 5 fucking times today in this video, but it's not worth the energy. I know it can feel good in the beginning. You know, somebody starts playing games with you and you really want to rip their asshole and fucking let them know all about themselves. I know how good that feels. At first. It feels good in the moment. But that is one of the worst ways to carve out your energetic pathway for 2025. How you handle this situation will drastically affect the trajectory of your path. And it will play a major fucking role in where you are 1 year from today. Major role. A major role. Have you ever seen that little experiment where they map out a boat's trip from the coast of the United States to Europe? Right? So they map it out. So it starts here in the US and then it goes to Europe. Now they rewind back to where it started and they change the path 1 degree. 1 degree. So instead of starting off this way, it goes 1 degree south. By the time it makes it to Europe, it's hundreds and hundreds, possibly even a couple of 1,000 miles away from its original destination point, just by altering its path 1 degree. Just one. So how you handle this situation today is going to play a major fucking role in where you end up next December. That's why it's so important to avoid drama and bullshit. It ain't all about who's fucking tough and who can whoop whose ass or any of that bullshit. Right? I don't avoid conflict because I'm fucking scared of you. I avoid conflict because I'm scared of what I'll do to you if I lose my temper. It ain't worth it. My path is what's worth it. I'm not going to throw away my whole fucking year on your stupid ass. I'm not doing that. You can fuck off. You go fuck up your own year. I'm not doing it. It's about energetic awareness and intelligence. Think about that. All right. Was that Aquarius? Was that Capricorn or Aquarius? I don't remember. That was Aquarius, wasn't it? Okay, all right, all right. Pisces. 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 Two more shuffles, two more. Man, the Ten of Wands is like the fucking card of the day today, isn't it? Oh, whoa, and the Five of Wands, holy shit, okay. All right, well, here we go. We got that karmic wheel right there. So this is definitely a karmic tie between you and this person. Absolutely. And this person does have a lot of feelings for you. Whatever it was that happened between the two of you is still weighing on them very, very heavily. But I'm thinking you're making the decision to end this altogether. You're just not letting your guard down this time. Some of you, now I know this isn't all of you, and I've tried to refrain from saying this this whole video, but this has on and off written all over it. All over it. So one or two things, either A, you and this person were fucking on and off, or B, if you keep fucking with this person, you will be on and off. One of the two. One of the two. Could be both for some of you. I don't know. But yeah, damn it, man. This is a mess. But I think you're finally making the decision to end this for good. Can't help it. This has on and off written all over it, dude. All over it. I hate talking about that. I try not to talk too much about the on and off thing, you know? So if I can, I steer around it and try to avoid it and just try to hit on other topics that pertain to that without just hammering on that. But this has on and off written all over it, dude. So I think that you're either A, finally putting an end to an on and off situation, or B, you're preventing an on and off situation. And that's good because this doesn't look like this is an easy thing for you to do. It doesn't. That's all I'm getting out of this spread right here, y'all. This is very one-sided. There is no equal give and take between the two of you at all. None. None, 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 at all. That's all I'm getting out of this right here. Some of you dealt with a Scorpio, possibly. I also have Taurus and Leo here. And Cancer. Could be anybody. You know that. Those are just energies. That's all I get out of this spread. That's all this is telling me. And no, the person you're dealing with is absolutely not somebody you can trust. And you know this. You know it's not somebody you can trust. So even if you have a special place in your heart for them, you're getting to a point where you would rather suffer the loss of somebody you love than to attach yourself to somebody you know you can't trust. They both hurt. They both hurt. So it's like you have to pick your poison. It's a double-edged sword. You got to choose to get cut by one of the edges. Which one you're going to choose? You know? So, okay. Any advice? It don't sound like it needs advice, but we'll double check just to make sure. Ooh, Eight of Swords reverse. Stop ignoring the red flags. Stop ignoring the truth about the situation. Like I said, I don't think you need that advice because it feels like you're already doing that. Don't try not to. Now, I hate giving this advice because I struggle with this too. Okay, so this isn't really as much personal advice as it is advice that's just straight from spirit, you know. Don't be afraid to let yourself feel the fucking pain. That's part of the healing process. Don't try to go block it out. Don't try to go distract yourself from it. Don't try to go get drunk. Don't try to go get high. Don't try to go sleep around and fuck around with a bunch of people because it makes you feel better about yourself. Part of the healing process is allowing yourself to go through that hurt. And I know that's a bitch. That's a bitch. That's one of the, I'll be honest, that's probably, when it comes to the healing path, that's what I struggled with the most. I'm a fucking addict alcoholic, y'all. You know, I was the type back in the day where the pain got too rough. I ain't gonna lie. I ran straight to the liquor store. Drown that shit. I get it. I did it too. I know. And speaking from experience, it don't work. Not in the long run, it don't. There temporarily it does. Oh man. Oh, there is nothing more comforting when you're heartbroken than that fucking bottle of vodka, dude. Oh, that bottle of vodka is your best fucking friend. Or so you think. So you think. For the night, it's your best friend, but that's about it. Man, you wake up the next day feeling 10 times worse. And then what do you got to do? Go get more vodka, right? And then the cycle begins. And I'm going to tell you what, you don't know hell on earth until that fucking demon wraps its claws around you and gets you in its grip. I don't wish that on my worst fucking enemy. It's rough, boy. Boy, I'm going to tell you what, it's rough. But that's the advice that came through. So, all right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages to all my signs of the zodiac for the new year that everybody needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Oh, let's wrap up 2024 with as much positive energy as we possibly can, because 2025 marks the beginning of a new timeline. So don't forget to check the description of this video if you would like to find out how to schedule a personal reading. And I'm out of here now, y'all. I'll see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Stay blessed.